You can't hear something from your teacher, give it a try and see like, oh, that's nice. And then, okay, here's the button that I push on, and now it's just gonna happen from now on. It's not the way it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a wow. Like my mind is, this is mind blowing for me. Yeah.
Welcome to the SingWell Karaoke Show. I'm Lenore at your service. Today's topic is independence. We have a call from a student whose voice teacher keeps canceling lessons on her. I'm gonna give her some advice and then we'll do some singing because this is a singing show. Let's do this. Hi, I'm Lila. I'm a singer and a voice teacher. So today we're talking about how to become independent of your voice teacher. When we start out, we're all in the student mode, meaning we're students, we trust our teacher, hopefully they deserve that trust and that surrender that we give to them. We learn everything they can teach us, and then hopefully, magically, at some point, we'll become better at what we do and we will need our teacher less and less. Problem is, it takes two to tango. I don't know if you know that, but most people don't know that. Most people think they will go and have endless lessons with a teacher, and at a certain point, something will happen, and then they will just be transformed into being professional singers or being just amazing in their singing. But it takes two to tango. That means that you, as a student, have a job. You have work to do on your own when you leave the teacher's studio and go practicing. You have stuff that you have to do to slowly get yourself self-sustained, yeah? And that starts at the very beginning. So here's what I want to tell you, okay? If you learn anything from any teacher, it could be in a real life lesson, it can be from a YouTube tutorial, it can be from an online course. I don't care where you learn or what you learn. Your job is to go home and not just randomly practice everything at the same time. Your job is to take something, one thing that you learned, focus on it, and then internalize it, meaning that not just understanding in your mind what you're supposed to do, not just experiencing it once and twice and saying, oh, I got it, let's pile up another thing on top of it. No. Your job is to do that one thing until you can do it on command. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We have Lila, who called about the situation that she's in, and she's struggling to find her own way while her teacher is coming less often than expected to listen. So let's get to that call. Okay, so we have a call coming in from Lila from Canada. Hi, Lila.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'm very excited. Congratulations, you are my first caller on the show.
Oh, so it's even more special. Thanks.
Yeah, it is to me. So.
And to me too. It's the first time I do that. And
yeah, I always loved call-in shows, so I decided, yeah, let's do that. A lot of people have some questions about singing. So what's going on in your singing world?
Great. I'm a North American student I came to Europe and I got into a school, a conservatory of music. The thing is, I've been told I have the best teacher and I believe in what she does, and like she really helps me, but she's not there very often because she has lots of health problem, and then we experience also substitute teachers and it's never the same. And it seems that where we are, I mean, it's like you have the best teacher, but then you don't have it all the time because she's not there a lot. She could skip like a week or two, or we would have, there's a lot of classes we don't have. Well, what that sometimes you would have like maybe 2 classes or 4 classes during the month when you would you would have 8.
2 to 4 classes a month as opposed to 2 a week. Is that what you're supposed to get?
Yeah. It's a person that when she comes in and when she's there, like it's a lot of energy, and there's what I do, I record the classes and then I write down, what she says after, and then I re-listen to what I've done and all. It's just that I would say the constancy isn't there. The consistency of, it's like you would do something and then you think, okay, tomorrow I will try, and then, oh, she's not there. But honestly, it's like I was not, it's different now. It's really like, it's more serious, it's more intense. It's more intense in the sense that my desire is really, I'm very focused. And then it's the first time that I really, really, really learn what's going on, with singing.
So it also has to do with your discipline and with her method of teaching, that you feel like finally someone is teaching you what you want to learn.
Yeah, but I think that I was very confused. Sometimes I'm still a bit confused about, the lack of consistency. I really walked a path on my own, but at the same time, I'm in between now. Like, is it a good thing really? Because are singers really so dependent on the teacher all the time to take by hand, or is it natural at this stage? Because I would say that even it's my 4th year, that's where I really feel that I'm doing something consistent myself, although maybe the presence of my teacher is not consistent.
Yeah, but you're doing your own thing.
But it's like
working.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people and a lot of schools and a lot of teachers do many times is just have the student coming in regularly, no matter what, right? So you just go there every week or twice a week and you have your lesson, probably have a good time, probably learn a bunch of stuff, then you go home, right? Then you just come back. And that's, I think, is where the dependency comes from.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Dependency? Probably not. Dependence. Yeah. So what you're describing, if you were to be intentional about it, I see a lot of potential in that situation, actually. So you have a teacher that you love. She teaches you really good stuff. And at the same time, you also can do stuff on your own. And you figured out a way to process and practice on your own. I think it depends on whether you decide to systematically use what your teacher is teaching you in the time that you have on your own, to make your process with that, internalize all the techniques she taught you, because those things take time, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's muscle memory. If you went back again a few days later, you wouldn't have the time to let everything sink in. But this is a situation that you can take advantage of. It's like, okay, I got a lesson. We worked on this and this. That was really helpful. I'm going to take it home for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm just going to make sure that I have this down. Then I go back and I'm a completely different singer. And my teacher will be like, what have you been doing? So that's one alternative. The other alternative is like, oh, I don't have a lesson for a few weeks. I guess I'm stuck. I guess I don't know what to do. I guess I'm not going to make progress. I don't believe this is the case.
No, it was the case at the beginning, I would say, and it took a while to get out of that, rough, I would say, because
it's about what you expected from school. You expected, and what you also expect from voice training in general, what most people expect, is that I have to go in every week. Otherwise, I won't make the progress. Otherwise, I don't think that's the case. I think sometimes you need more than 1 week. I actually recommend my students to take less often than weekly lessons. It's like you learn something from the teacher, and now you also need to come to a point when you're able to do it. Consistently whenever you want. You need that technique like at your disposal at all times, right? So 1 week is not enough usually.
But also now I realize that. And anyways, like if I want to be happy, I have to find a solution, because it's not possible, because it was affecting actually, even
Yes.
like it was affecting the mentally. I was like, oh, and even how can I say, my enthusiasm was a little bit gone, even to sing. It's like, oh, what's the point? Blah blah blah. If I'm not
Yeah.
learning enough,
Yeah.
and then I realized, well, if I do that, then I'm really sabotaging, and I was trying to rekindle, the fire.
Yeah. It's really like you just hit it. You hit on it. It's the nail. It's the motivation thing.
Yes, yes,
But
yes,
you're not sure what the direction is that you're going with. You're
exactly.
not sure that what you're getting from the school right now and the capacity in which
Yeah,
your teacher can teach you is good enough. And so you're wondering, am I gonna be able to succeed on this
yes,
path?
yes, yes. And
So yeah, go
and I
ahead.
would say, vocally, I know it's the right path. It
Okay.
is. It
Yeah.
is. It might. I might have to find some other ways to, how can I say, to strengthen, let's say, the knowledge. And on the other side, I know that, I understand what I'm learning. It's also, it changed my whole concept of what it is singing. I was not singing before. I didn't know how. I was not singing. It was like too heavy or too whatever. It was not what now I understand also. And to make music, it's also another thing. So without being at school, without being in a conservatory and being in touch with the music world, I think that I would be a little bit lost,
Yeah.
or not comfortable, because I wouldn't have so much music environment, I would think.
Yeah. That I think that would be up to you. It is very easy after you finish school to sort of like disappear into a world of your own.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh,
in either case, you will have to deal with that if you decide to stay in school and then you finish school.
okay.
Like, you won't be in school forever. You will have to find a
No.
way around that. Hi, let's take a little break from the call. I have something important to say. Did you know that you can also call the show and talk to me? I would love to hear from you if you are struggling with anything that has to do with singing, or if you went through some difficulties and came out the other end. I would love to have you on the show. All you have to do is go on my blog, singwell.eu, and contact me through there. Keep in touch. Now let's get back to the show.
What also is sometimes a little difficult is that we heard that some students were so good that in the second year they were almost singing like, difficult stuff in German and all. And then for us right now, we're not all at the same level. The students, we have all our different levels, but also sometimes one can asks oneself, but am I good enough if in the second year I was not able to sing, and now and she always advises us to sing something that is comfortable for the voice, or like something didactical.
Yeah.
So we know that with this teacher, not all of them, but like she has students singing professionally now compared
Yeah.
to all the others that we know.
Yeah, this is really like anecdotal. Like the fact that she
Isn't it?
has people who study with her and then they're also professional. I'm just saying it doesn't mean that she's not a good teacher for having professional students, but she could also just take them from a certain level that they already came in, right?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
really know. I don't really know that. When I was in high school, I studied music in high school, and the year under me had a concentration of about 90% of absolute prodigies, all of them. And we didn't have prodigies in the class, and maybe we had one.
Okay.
So what does that mean? Like, does it mean that the school was not good when we came in? Like, it's the same school.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It could just be that that year had a lot of gifted people in it that had like people who are already advanced. By the way, that doesn't mean that you all are not gifted. It
Well,
means
no, but I mean,
you are coming from like from a different place and you are at a different level. Doesn't mean anything about the progress that you can make and the career that you can make.
yeah.
Right now, you're trying to figure out what to do, if to stay in
Yeah.
school or not.
Yes, and how to be
You're
efficient.
right now, it's also about, is this the right teacher? I think it's the right teacher because I love her method and I think it's really helpful, but I don't know if it's consistent enough to
Exactly. Yeah.
sustain the progress that I need.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going back to what I said in the beginning. I believe that you can be intentional about learning from her less often than twice a week, even less than once a week.
Okay.
I really think that there is a lot of potential there if the technique that she teaches is really good for you. Because a teacher can be very good, and you touched on it before. If there is no method, there is no system for the student to practice in between the lessons. That's where we get lost. And the best teacher in the world will not make you professional if you don't know how to practice on your own and
oh wow, everything. Oh, that's wonderful.
And that goes back to what you said about dependence. I would try to take either the things that you remember from the last lesson. Yep. The things that you did in the lesson that you pointed out, you need to work on this, this, and that. Yep. There probably was a list of 3 or things or so, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would take them one by one. And I would decide, I'm practicing this thing now until I get it.
Okay. Yeah? Okay.
And then I would work with a mirror. I don't know if she said to do that.
Yeah.
I would work with sometimes recording or filming myself.
She always says to record, always.
Yeah. I would say even better film.
Oh,
that's even better. Yeah, it's like looking in the mirror, but then you can't really do anything. It's tough, but it's worth it.
Okay.
But again, that's a little bit besides the point. It will just make everything easier for you to work with yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I would do that until I have my next lesson. And when you get to your next lesson, I'm telling you, she's going to be happy. And you're going to be happy because like, okay, I learned this thing. I can actually do this now. So we can move on. We can maybe combine that thing that I did with other things, which brings me to the next point. When you practice one thing and you feel okay with it, you practice another thing, you feel okay with that, you can start thinking of combining them into one thing. Yeah. I call it a machine. So I'll give you an example. Say you're working with her on releasing your jaw. Okay. And you're also working on expanding the ribs.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that was exactly what I've been told.
It's the default. Everybody has to learn that. So that was an easy guess. So you get used to this. Then you say like, okay, yeah, I'm quite good at it. Maybe not fully there, but it happens like most of the time. I know how to do this. Great. Now I'm working on this. Now I'm good on that as well. Great. Now you have to think about an image or a thought that will make you drop the jaw and expand the ribs at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah. So that's how you call isolation. Like an isolation of one thing and the other, and then together.
Yeah. Okay. In my experience, it's the best if you focus on one thing at a time, because multitasking sucks. I hate it. I can't.
Okay.
Not when it comes to singing. Actually, not when it comes to anything else. I just can't multitask to save my own life. So. You focus on one thing and then you combine two things in one.
It's very useful, and actually I would say that what's impacting me now, it's the fact that I have been multitasking and that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So
you're expecting yourself to do everything at the same time.
Exactly. It's super useful. I never thought like this.
Yeah. It's something that when you say it out loud, you go like, duh, but I also expected myself to do everything at once. It doesn't make any sense. because it's muscle memory. We're working with muscle memory. Muscle memory takes time. You can't hear something from your teacher, give it a try and see like, oh, that's nice. And then, okay, here's the button that I push on, and now it's just gonna happen from now on. It's not the way it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a wow, like my mind is this is mind-blowing for me. Yeah.
I know. But that's why they say that you have to practice. Like otherwise you could just read a book.
Yes, of course.
And then you will be a good singer.
But you can practice a lot of errors at the same time. It's like practice, but then is it efficient if I go to the next lesson and it seems like the same problem is showing up? So it's like from your answer, what I understand is that emotionally and like mentally, I will be much more satisfied because I know how to practice. I will know how to practice and to get the gold out of what I'm receiving.
Yeah. Get to keep the gold.
Yes, instead of being frustrated because it doesn't follow the schedule somehow.
Yes. You can view it as I have graduated from lessons twice a week when I have no idea what to do on my own to a point when I know what to do on my own, and I take a lesson once every 2 weeks.
Yes. And totally. And also that, the idea that without the teacher, you cannot do anything, which is, I think
that's a problem.
It's very, it makes you feel insecure, which is not the point, because it reflects, for me, it was reflecting in my voice and in my, so it's like it was just like a spiral down.
Yeah.
But that's a mental perspective to change.
The mental perspective is inseparable from your singing identity.
Yeah.
If you have that mentality that you always need a teacher and you always need the teacher's approval, you will always and forever be in the student mode. You will never be a professional.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for bringing that out. This is so important.
It is. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to give you access to my course, Make Singing Click, because it's about basically taking what you learned and internalizing it. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
And I want you to try it with the stuff that you learned from your teacher. And I want you to tell me after a month or two how that feels, if it helps you sustain the progress on your own. I really hope that it will give you the transformation that you need to like take what you get from the teacher and from the school and make the best of it and start rising as a star.
From the ashes.
Yeah, that's what it felt like a little bit with all the COVID and those lessons and everybody around you doubting. I totally get it.
Oh yeah. And maybe I can give some hope to my fellow classmates.
I say you will, because when you start practicing, in a methodical way at home, and it will be working for you and you will be feeling, okay, I got this, then you'll be able to share it with them. It's like, look, this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
It's the best. You should do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And please let me know how it goes.
I will keep in touch.
Snapping out of the student mode, you are the only one who can do that. I've had many good teachers. I've had very, very good teachers. I've had excellent teachers. But for over a decade, I dare say I got nowhere because I did not do my job as a student, which is to get out of the student mode. So I'm going to tell you right now, I have a list for you. Here's what you have to do to snap out of the student mode. First of all, when you're in the lesson, you take notes, record your lesson, or even better, film the lesson. You go back to your lesson. You take the stuff that you learned from the teacher, you go over them and internalize them like we discussed before. If you want more details about how you can practice on your own, go to my blog, singwell.eu, to the article How to Practice Singing, and I have it all laid out for you right there. So you follow your teacher's advice fully while you're working with them. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge that they are human and they may be wrong. Okay? And therefore, do not give the teacher too much power over yourself, over your emotions, over your state of mind, state of being, and over your career decisions. Slowly but surely, you become independent of your teacher because you know more and more what you're doing when you're without them. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for being here in the first episode of the SingWell Karaoke Show. We're going to finish up with a song, of course, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Enjoy singing. Bye. A little spoiler, the next song starts really soft, but it ends quite loudly, so you might want to adjust your volume accordingly. Enjoy! What will this day be like? I wonder. What will my future be? I wonder. It could be so exciting to be out in the world, to be free. My heart should be wildly rejoicing. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed for adventure, to do the things I've never dared. Now here I'm facing adventure, then why am I so scared? A captain with 7 children, what's so fearsome about that? Oh, I must stop these doubts, all these worries. If I don't, I just know I'll turn back. I must dream of the things I am seeking. I am seeking the courage I lack. The courage to serve them with reliance, face my mistakes without defiance, show them I'm worthy, and while I show them, I'll show me. So let them bring on all the problems, I'll do better than my best. I have confidence they'll put me to the test, but I'll make them see I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but